Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and get started. Hello to whoever is on. My name is Sasha Monet. And today is Friday, September 27th, 2024. And today I'm going to talk about this P. Diddy scandal. But I'm going to talk about it from a biblical perspective. So while I'm waiting for people to join in, this is off the subject, but I'm gonna just kill some time while I'm waiting. So the other day, this guy, he asked me, he was like, so what are you, a motivational speaker or something like that? And I was like, well, no. What made you ask that? So he was like, well, I saw you on Facebook and you was sitting in the car, you was doing a live. He said, but I couldn't hear any sound. And I said, oh, okay. I said, well, you know, Facebook, they tend to censor me. And he was like, well, why do you think they do that? And I was like, well, the things that I teach and that I talk about on my page and on my channel don't go along with the narrative that mainstream media teaches or pushes or whatever. So I get heavily censored on Facebook. So I just wanted to put that out because the censorship is real. So I want to talk about P. Diddy and this P. Diddy scandal, and I want to give my my thoughts about it. As I'm sure you all have heard that the hip-hop artist P. Diddy was arrested probably about a week ago or whatever, and he was denied bail because of all of the charges against him. Now, before I get started, I want to say this. First and foremost, I want to say we are all innocent until proven guilty. So I know some of the charges against him, but he haven't had his day in court yet. So that's not here nor there. But he's innocent until proven guilty. You know, right now is no charges that have been he hasn't been indicted on any counts or anything like that yet. So, but I have been trying to keep up with it. Now, I want to share the reason why I think that they have waited until now to arrest him and deny his bail. Okay, as I have stated before, I am not a Democrat or a Republican. However, I believe the reason why this scandal has came to the surface or to the spotlight now is because it's election time. And so what I believe is going on, there were so many people, and especially black people, who are holding Kamala Harris accountable for the lack of communication and the lack of for her lack thereof. She just haven't been clear about what she's going to do if she gets in office. She haven't made any of her policies clear or anything like that. So I believe what the media has done is they have waited until now to arrest this man. And this scandal has came to the spotlight because they want to distract the people from the bigger picture, and they want to distract us from what's really going on. So they like, okay, this is the perfect time to arrest Diddy because we're going to distract black people with this foolishness concerning P. Diddy, because we don't want them to focus on the lack thereof of what Kamala Harris is not planning to do for the black people. So we're going to give them Diddy, and we're going to distract them from our agenda and what we really have in mind for them, because we don't need anybody to hold Kamala Harris accountable for her lack thereof. So we're going to give y'all Diddy. We want to distract y'all. anytime you have a scandal or a story or whatever that comes to the spotlight around election time, that's when they want to distract you with the foolishness, because they don't want you to focus on what's really important. So I saw a video clip on YouTube of P. Diddy and Charlemagne the God, who is one of the cast from the Breakfast Club on the radio. So in the video clip, in the interview with Charlemagne and Diddy, I have some of the things that was talked about in that interview, and I just want to share them with you. But you can go on YouTube and watch it for yourself. Charlemagne the God interview P. Diddy. Now, I want to address some of the things that Diddy said in the interview and elaborate on them, because the things that P. Diddy was doing is the real reason why I believe they locked him up. Now, I want to say that in no way, shape, or form, I do not condone any of the things that Diddy has been charged with. The racketeering, beating up Cassie, the homosexuality, like everything, all the allegations that's been made against him, I don't condone any of that. But like I said, he's innocent until proven guilty. So I'm not here to judge, but I just want to shed light on this situation from a biblical perspective. Now, in this interview, one of the things that P. Diddy said to Charlemagne the God, he said that it's time for us to have our own black political party. That's what P. Diddy said. In the interview, he also stated that we're not a part of any of the debates. Now, like I said, I'm not a Democrat or a Republican. But when Diddy said we're not a part of any of the debates, he meant that we as black people, we're not a part of any of the political debates. Like, we're not the focus, we're not the concern. He also stated that we don't have any political power, which that's true. We as black people as a whole, yeah, we do have some black people that's in office, but black people as a whole, we don't have any political power. So I do agree with that statement that he made. Also, Diddy stated in the video, in the interview, he said that, so we started our own black political party with some young, fearless black activists and elected officials. And I stepped up and put the money behind it. So Diddy, he didn't say how much he put behind the, starting up the black political party, but he said he put some money up behind it. When Charlemagne the God asked Diddy, what is the goal for the black political party? Diddy said, the goal of the black political party is to unify our black people and to unify a black agenda, to be educated and to be empowered. Okay, that sounds lovely and dandy. He also said in the interview that we need to seize our own political party. Now, one of the things that he also said in the interview, he said that if you're black, it doesn't matter if you vote Democrat or if you vote Republican. We still don't get anywhere as a whole concerning black people. Now, I do agree with that. And he also stated that we need to be responsible for our own, be independent, and we need to be held accountable for our own political agendas. Diddy also stated in the interview with Charlemagne, he said that the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over and expecting different results. He said we're not organized and we're not going to get nothing. Now, those last two statements that he made, I do agree with it. I do agree with the fact that he said that the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over. Now, if you anything like me, I grew up in a family of majority Democrats. Didn't know why I was voting Democrat, didn't know anything about the Democratic Party. All I know is that when I went to vote, they said vote Democrat. So that's what I did out of ignorance. And ignorance means a lack of knowledge. So the definition of insanity, I do agree with him. It's doing the same thing over and over and expecting different results. Majority of black people have been voting Democrat for hundreds of years. And the Democratic Party have not done anything for black people. Neither have the Republican Party, in my opinion. And I do agree with him when he said that we're not organized and that neither party is for us. And I do believe that neither party is not going to give us anything. So the fact that Diddy started up this black political party, he went off script. And see, when you in Hollywood, when you a bigger star as like Diddy is, you can't go off script. You got to be in compliance. You got to do what they tell you to do. These people, these entertainers, basically they're puppets. And when they go off script and they go against the narrative and they start wanting to do their own thing, then they can't have it. Especially when you're trying to unify your own people. They don't want to see us unified. They don't want to see us come together. So in the interview, he also said that I played the game of politics with the Democratic Party. He said the people that I campaigned for, when they got into office, they didn't do anything for black people. That is true. Like I stated, the Democratic Party do not do anything for black people. All the Democratic Party do is pander to black people, and especially around election time when they want our votes, they tell us what we want to hear. They make these empty promises, and then these empty promises, they never keep them, and then the promises that they make, they never come into fruition. Now, he said that, let me go back to it. Yeah, the people that I campaigned for didn't do anything to change anything for black people. Now, when you in the entertainment industry, we all know that any and everything goes. So, when you have this money, this power, this fame and fortune, and all these things that you have, the white power structure, they control and they own everything. So, as popular and as rich as P. Diddy is, he not really in control. He have to do what they tell him to do. He can only do what they allow him to do. So, the fact that he tried to go off the script and start his own black political party, they couldn't have that. So, now it's election time, and it's the perfect time to lock him up. Now, one of the things that he said in the interview, he said that God showed me my purpose and said to me, my purpose is to play a part in saving the black race. I say to that, you cannot serve two masters. We all know, we have all heard the rumors and the allegations concerning P. Diddy and how he get down. And, you know, a lot of people are saying these things. Not just one or two people, but a lot of people are saying some things about Diddy that a God-fearing person would not do. If you go to the book of James, chapter 1, verse 8, it says, a double-minded man is unstable in all his ways. You cannot engage yourself in homosexual acts. You cannot commit adultery. You cannot put your hands on women. You cannot glorify money, sex, drugs, and do all these things, sex trafficking or whatever other things that he was involved in. And then in that same breath say that God showed you or God told you that he want to, what did he say? That God's purpose is for you to play a part in saving the black race. That's being double-minded. You can't play both sides. Like you cannot that's being double-minded. So Matthew chapter 6 verse 24 says, no one can serve two masters. Either you will hate the one and love the other, or you will be devoted to the one and despise the other. So you see, you cannot serve two masters. You can't serve two gods. You cannot serve God and money. Because either you gonna love the one and hate the other, or you gonna hate the other and love the one. Like it's like oil and water. You can't serve God and serve money. You can't serve God and serve the devil. So you gotta pick a side. So we know the God that Diddy serves is because we know the things that he have, all the success and the fame and the fortune, the money. The God of heaven didn't bless Diddy with those things. He didn't bless Diddy with those things. Now, in the interview, also Diddy said that he said the vote or die Diddy was about politics and trying to be supportive. Like I said, any money, any fame that you get, if you a black person, especially if you in the entertainment industry, you can't take that money and that your public whatever and think that you're gonna use that money and help your people, because the industry is not designed for black people to help their people. It's for a few black people in between to be rich and to make it, but they gotta pay a price. So the money that you get, if you think that the people that's really in charge of everything, that they're gonna let you take your money and start a political black party for your people to help your people, no. It don't work like that. It don't work like that. You got to be in compliance with what they want you to do. So he said the vote or die Diddy was about politics and trying to be supportive. He said the kind of guilt. He said they kind of guilt us into voting. I agree with that. But he said, as I evolved, I realized this is a business. So politics is a business. Now, people think that because people have all these material things and all this money and fame and fortune and stuff, people equate blessings with God. They think that God is blessing them with all of these things. Well, the God of heaven, whose name is Yahuwah, he not blessing Diddy with all these things that he have, because Diddy don't serve the God of heaven. Diddy serve Satan. And I hate to say it, but that's who he served. Satan is the God of this world. Satan is the God of this world. Mark chapter 8, verse 34 through 38 says, for what shall it profit a man if he shall gain the whole world and lose his soul? Or what shall a man give in exchange for his soul? Now, like I said, we all have heard the rumors about Diddy and how he get down and things that he have done to people and the things that he have been involved in. And like I said, it's not one or two people that's saying it. It's a whole lot of people who have said this. And Diddy have said some incriminating things about his own self. So you can't play both sides. You can't talk about, well, God told me that he want me to save the black people, but then you over here putting your hands on this woman, and you being accused of all these ungodly things. Like, no, it's like oil and water. It don't mix. So I just want to say that I'm not coming for Diddy, but the whole entire entertainment industry is very wicked. And, honestly, if Hollywood do fall, like, I'm not going to be mad about it. I won't, because it's wicked. And the things that these people do for the fame and for the fortune is not of God. Like, they do some of the most awful, disturbing things for fame and fortune. And that's why that quote, it say the love of money is the root of all evil. Not money itself, but the love of money is the root of all evil, because people would do anything for the love of money. Child sacrifice is going on in the entertainment industry. Sex trafficking, drug trafficking, people sacrificing, having a family member sacrifice, all kind of stuff, molestation. Like the whole entertainment industry is wicked. And that's why the Bible say, for what shall a man profit if he gain the whole world and lose his soul? You cannot make a deal with the devil and think that the devil is going to let you do anything good for your people. Like, no, it don't work like that. When you make a deal with the devil, when you get in covenant with Lucifer, when you sign that contract on that dotted line, you gotta keep your end of the bargain, because if you don't keep your end of the bargain, he gonna come back and collect. Whether that means having one of your family members sacrifice, whether that means you get thrown into jail like R. Kelly and like Bill Cosby, like Jeffrey Epstein. You cannot dance with the devil and think that you finna go and help your people. Like it don't work like that. You gotta uphold your end of the bargain. And that deal that Diddy made with the devil, starting up a black political party for black people and trying to empower black people, that wasn't a part of the deal. So he a nigga that stepped out of line. So now they got to put him back in his place. So now it's election time, and they see, okay, well, he know he got this. He too out of control. He too powerful. He got too much money. So let's put him back in his place. Let's lock him up and let's show him who really the boss, who really in charge, because he think he got too much power, but we finna destroy him. Like, that's how that go. You can't get out of line and think that you really running something. No, it don't work like that in Hollywood. You got to do what they say. That's why the Bible say you can't serve two masters. You can't serve God and serve Lucifer. It don't work like that. The God of heaven didn't bless him with all these things. You want to know how I know? Because you got to test the spirit by the spirit. You know a tree by its fruit. A good tree cannot bear corrupt fruit, and a corrupt tree cannot bear good fruit. It just doesn't work like that. It don't work like that. 2 Corinthians chapter 4 verse 4 says, Satan is the god of this world. Satan control and run all of this. I wish people would realize and understand that the entertainment industry is wicked. Satan owns it. The music industry, the entertainment industry, the film industry, all of it. Satan run and operate all of this. All of it. He in charge of it. Why do you think he called the prince of the power of the air? Satan operates through the airwaves, through the radio. That's why they call frequencies. Ephesians chapter 2 verse 2 says Satan is the prince of the power of the air. Airwaves. That's why the music play through the radio, through the airwaves, through the frequencies. Okay? And I wish that people also understand that Satan was a minister of music. So he know what sound good. He was the minister of music. Satan was an angel. So of course he know about what beats sound good and what, like, that was his thing. He was the minister of music. I'm going to go to Matthew chapter 4, verse 1 through 11, because I don't want people to think that I'm just coming for Diddy, but I want people to understand that the whole entertainment industry is wicked. And you need to really understand who control the entertainment industry. These people are entertainers. Why do you think that they make so much money? Why do you think that, and I'll say this, the music industry, it's not even about talent. It's not about talent. It's about what you're willing to do. If you ever notice, like, let's just say, for example, a one-hit wonder, or somebody that made 1 or 2 songs, and they could sing, they was talented, but you never heard nothing else from them, and you like, oh, what happened to such and such? You want me to tell you what happened? If they really had talent, if they really could sing, if they didn't make it to the top, 9 times out of 10, they was not willing to do any and everything for fame. The entertainment industry is not always about talent. It's about what you're willing to do. Because some of the least talented people have the most success. So it's not always about talent. It's about what you're willing to do. What you're willing to do for the money. What you're willing to do for that fame. That's what it's about. And that's why these celebrities get paid so much money. Because they have influence over the minds and over the masses of the people. Satan, his ultimate goal is to take as many people with him to the lake of fire as possible. Why do you think he paid these celebrities so much money? Because they have influence over the minds of people, and our young people are the most impressionable. That's why I told my sister when she was babysitting my daughter, who is 4 now, I said, be careful what you listen to. Be careful what you watch around her. Because children are very impressionable. And they like sponges. Children don't do what you tell them to do. They do what they see you do. That's why we have to lead by example and be careful what we do in front of our children. Because they watching us and they like sponges. And they soak up everything that they see us do. Just like before I got saved, I wasn't really a smoker, but I used to smoke weed a little here and there at the house before I had Carly, when my boys was, pre-teens or whatever. So now guess what? My 18-year-old, he smoked weed. Now even though I don't smoke no more, he do it. That's a generational curse. Because I left that door open, he did what he saw me do. I wasn't married. I was fornicating. Now he 18. That's what he doing. That's a generational curse. People, and I can tell him all day long, don't do this, don't do that. But because I left those doorways open before I got saved, he did what he saw me do. So I'm saying that to say, if you ever wonder, well, why do these entertainers get paid so much? Especially the rappers and the singers. Why do they make so much money? Well, that's because Satan, first of all, they make a deal with the devil, most of them. Because most of all your celebrities, especially your A-list celebrities, most of them is serving Lucifer. And they don't even hide it no more. Like, it was a time where they used to hide it. They don't even hide who they serve no more. They out bold with it. They throw up their hand gestures. They throw up the pyramid, the all-seeing eye. It's on their clothes. I was on YouTube one day and I saw a clip of Kim Kardashian, and she had I don't know if it was a pentagon. I can't remember if it was a pentagon or a hexagon on the back of her jacket. I'm talking about big. I tried to go back and find the video. I couldn't find it. But I'm sorry to tell you, most of these entertainers, they don't serve your God. They don't serve the God of the Bible. They serve Satan. That's why the Bible say, what shall it profit a man to gain the whole world and to lose his soul? But Satan is the prince of the power of the air. Ephesians chapter 2 verse 2. And Satan was a minister of music. That's why you have to be careful what you watch and what you listen to. Even now, I'm very mindful of the things that I listen to, because the Bible tells us to guard our hearts, guard our eyes, and guard our ears, guard what we listen to. Because you are what you listen to, you are what you watch. Why do you think that, prime example, when I was in the world, when all I listened to was worldly music, and I used to listen to gospel a little here and there, why you think you want to have sex Why do you think that if you listen to rap all the time, especially rap that got like violent stuff in it or drugs in it or whatever, why do you think that you want to smoke? Why do you think that you want to fight? Why do you think that you want to shoot them up, bang bang? Why? It's because we are spirits. We are spirits that are housed in a body, and so we spirits. So whatever we feed our spirit, that's what we consume by. I mean, I'm trying to explain it to where I hope I'm making sense. You are what you take in. You are what you consume by. See, this is our temple. So whatever you listen to, that's what you're gonna want to act on. Whatever you watch, that's what you're gonna want to act. That's what you're gonna want to act on. That's what you're gonna want to do. That's why Lucifer pay these celebrities so much money, because he want to influence people. He want to influence as many people he can, especially our young people. And he want to take as many souls with him to the lake of fire as possible. Because Lucifer not no fool. He know what his end result is going to be. So in order to hurt God and to make God angry, to get back at him, he want to take as many people to hell with him as possible. That's why he pay these celebrities so well. They don't serve your God. And another thing, while I'm on this, y'all need to stop idolizing these celebrities. A lot of people have made these celebrities their God, they idols. They love these celebrities. I can get on here and I can tell you word for word what the Bible say. But you might not want to hear it, or you might not like it. Or if I say something that the Bible say word for word, somebody may get offended or get mad at me for saying what the Bible said or what God said. Well, you're not mad at me, you mad at God. You mad at what the Bible say. But these celebrities can disrespect the same God that you say that you love and you serve, and you silent crickets, you say nothing. I'm here to tell you, these celebrities do not serve the God of the Bible. The things, the materials, possessions that they have, Yahuwah didn't bless them with that. Satan did. You cannot, Meg Thee Stallion, for example, Cardi B, for example. What do they don't talk about nothing but money and sucking and effing and all of that, twerking everywhere, and then get right on the stage and say, I want to thank God. What God you talking about? Because Yahuwah, the God of the Bible, he ain't give you that. Satan gave you that, and that's who they thinking. And they know that. But see, it's the regular people who don't have common sense to know that. When they say they want to thank God, think about, they ain't talking about the God of the Bible. Satan is the God of this world, and that's who they serve. And they serve him well. They made a covenant with him. When they signed that contract, when they did whatever immoral thing that they did to get that fame, to get that contract, they made a deal. If Satan could tempt who the world called Jesus Christ, if Satan can tempt Yahushua, you think that he can't tempt you? At these Diddy parties, so I've heard, people willing to do any and everything for the fame, for the fortune, for the money. Any and everything goes. All morality goes out the window. You couldn't pay me to want to be famous. For what? It ain't worth it. It's not worth your soul. It's not worth it at the end of the day. And all that money that Diddy got, and look what he had now. Look what he got him. Your money can't save you now. All them people that was at them Diddy parties, where they at? They can't save him. They can't help him. His money not finna save him. So in the end, where did he get him? And in the end, at the end of the day, if he still don't repent, he's still going to the lake of fire. So is it really worth it? No, it ain't worth it. But we're going to go to Matthew chapter 4, verse 1 through 11 real quick. I'm almost done. I wasn't even supposed to be on here this long, but I just wanted to share my 2 cents from a biblical perspective, and I'm gonna get off. I just had to say something. Matthew chapter 4 verses 1 through 11. Matthew chapter 4. Okay. Matthew chapter 4 verses 1 through 11. Then Jesus was led up into the wilderness by the Spirit to be tempted by the devil. And he had fasted for 40 days and 40 nights, and he was hungry. And the tempter, the devil, Satan, came to him and said, if you are the Son of God, command that these stones be turned into bread. But he answered, Yahushua, Jesus Christ. But he answered, it is written, man shall not live by bread alone, but after every word that proceeds from the mouth of God. Then the devil took him up into the holy city and set him on the highest point of the temple and said to him, if you are the Son of God, throw yourself down, for it is written. Now we know that Satan is the father of lies. It is not written. It was not written for the Son of God to do that. Okay. He said, he shall give his angels charge concerning you, and in their hands they shall lift you up, lest at any time you dash your foot against a stone. Jesus said to him, it is also written, you shall not tempt the Lord your God. So you see, if Satan can tempt Jesus, you think he can't tempt these celebrities and these people? You think if they need their light bill paid, or they about to get evicted, or whatever, hey, money talk. It's that's why I say it ain't even always about talent. It's about what you willing to do. It's about what you willing to do. Again, the devil took him up on a very high mountain and showed him all the kingdoms of the world and their grandeur, and said to him, all these things I will give you if you fall down and worship me. If you fall down and worship me. So you see, rumor has it that P. Diddy, how he got on or got put on, rumor has it that he was on his knees, okay, for Clive Davis. And we all know who Clive Davis is. That is the person who allegedly groomed P. Diddy into becoming the person or individual that people are alleging that he is. So he said, and all these things I will give you if you fall down and worship me. Then Jesus said to him, get away from me, Satan, for it is written, you shall worship the Lord your God, and only him shall you serve. Now, I saw a clip of Orlando Brown, who is very outspoken about Diddy, and one of the things that he said, and we know that Orlando is very outspoken and quite funny. He very blunt and transparent. I've heard that he was one of Diddy victims. I don't know how true it is, but I'm just saying what I heard. Y'all probably heard it too. But word on the street is Orlando Brown have been playing crazy because he don't want to be offed. You see, the entertainment industry is very wicked. And when you go against powerful people who think that they are invincible and they think that they are God, sometimes people come up missing. Go and pull up that clip that Kanye West was in his car, and he said around Hollywood people come up missing. I'm just saying. I'm just saying, these things, these the type of things that go down in Hollywood. So you see, like I said, and I'm about to get ready to let y'all go, Hollywood is very wicked. It's very wicked. Okay, it's very evil, and people do immoral things for the fame, for the money, for the power. They will do whatever, any and everything. Okay. Now, P. Diddy stated in the interview that he did with Charlamagne the God, he stated that he endorsed the Democratic Party and put money behind them. And he said that the Democratic Party still don't do anything for black people once they get in office. So he wanted to start his own political party, right? And I've already said that neither party, Democrats or Republicans, are not for black people. That's what I need people to understand. And also, I want to say the Democratic Party, they pander to black people. They tell you whatever you want to hear to get your vote. And then when they get in office, they still don't do nothing for us. Okay? I want to say this. One of black people's biggest problems, one of the biggest problems that we have in our community is that we always want to put our trust in the government. What I need for black people to understand is that I'm not a racist, but the truth is the truth. What I need you to understand, if you on this live, and I promise I'm finna let y'all go in about 10 or 15 minutes. If you came in late, you can go back and watch it from the beginning so you can know what I'm talking about. What I need for black people to understand is that God is a black God, and that matters. And the reason why you think that it doesn't matter is because we've been conditioned and indoctrinated to think that it doesn't matter. But it does matter. It's very significant. And the reason why I'm stating that to you is because God has a chosen people. I know it may be hard for you to understand, but he has a chosen people. He has a bloodline that is in the earth. And so-called black people are the descendants of the real children of Israel. God has a name. I was speaking to my son's girlfriend the other night, and I'll just say this because I like to be transparent. I'm a very open book. My son, he came home the other night. He had got a tattoo on his neck, and it said Yahweh. And his girlfriend, she was kind of upset. She was like, he went and got something on his neck. I don't know why he got it on his neck, and I don't even know what it means. He can't even tell me what it means. I don't even know what it say. So after I got off work and I went home and I looked at the tattoo, and if you don't know, the occupants that live in Israel, they call the creator, they call him Yahweh. Well, the true pronunciation is Yahuwah, but however you pronounce it, Yahweh or Yahuwah, God has a name. Now, when we say God, we don't give him no glory. There's no glory or no power in God. God is a title. God has a name. And, you know, I saw the tattoo and I'm like, okay. I was thinking to myself, okay, well, at least he meant well. At least he did get something meaningful to him. I said, well, how do you know that's his name? He said, you told me. Well, that was before I realized that the true name is Yahuwah, but hey, some people still use Yahweh. I said, oh, okay. So I was talking to his girlfriend, and I asked her, I said, do you know God's name? She said, no. I said, did you know that God had a name? She said, no, I thought his name was God. You know, I mean, she young. If you don't know, you don't know. Well, what I need you to understand is that God, he has a people in the earth, okay? And so-called black people are the chosen people. But what makes it confusing is that it's a certain group of people who say that they are God's people, but these people are not his people. These are Satan's people. Actually, the people who live in Israel, those people are the seed of Satan. And I'm not saying this, the Bible says this. You can refer to Revelation 2:9 and 3:9. Satan is so crafty, because you don't know how crafty your enemy is. Satan has craft. He's so crafty that he has masqueraded his people as God's people, and those same people have stolen our identity and has corrupted us as a people. But I'm saying that to say that the Most High God is not in covenant with every group of people. He's only in covenant with one group of people. And that's the people who look like myself. God is a Hebrew God. He is the God of the Hebrews. Yes, he's the creator of the whole world, but he's only in covenant with one people. And that's Israel. The real Israel. Not the false Israel. Not the created state of Israel. But he's in covenant with one group of people. That's why Yahushua, who the world referred to as Jesus Christ, he said, I came for my own, but my own did not receive me. They didn't want to obey. Israel hard-headed. They stiff-necked. They wanted to do what they wanted to do. They didn't want to serve God the way that he required them to serve him. And the reason why I'm saying that is because you need to understand that the covenant is a perpetual covenant. And even though our ancestors made that covenant, we still are up under that covenant. And that's why our people are in the state that we are in now, because we are still not obeying as a people. That covenant is perpetual. We were not meant to do what the other nations did. We were not meant to serve our God the way that other nations serve their false gods. We are a royal priesthood. We're not supposed to be in the strip clubs. We're not supposed to be at the casinos. We're not supposed to be smoking Black and Milds and doing all of this stuff. And that's why we are still in the condition that we are in. That's why these curses are still upon us as a people. That's why other people can do other things and get away with it. And it seems like we can't do anything and get away with it. That's why other people can do ungodly and unholy things and be prosperous. And I'm not saying that we're not blessed, because we are blessed. And we do have things, and we do have good jobs, and we have things. But what I'm talking about as a whole, as an entire group of people. God is in covenant with us, with one people, true Israel, his bloodline people. And what he is trying to do, he is trying to clean up his people before his return. But our people are hard-headed, stiff-necked, and rebellious. You listen to these celebrities and you do what they say and you do what they do, but you won't even do what the God of the Bible say do. You don't even follow his laws, his statutes, and his commandments. But you revere and you honor, you respect these what Steve Harvey got to say and what P. Diddy got to say and what all these entertainers got to say, but you don't even try to keep the 10 commandments. And if you do, that's good for you. I'm not talking to you. But what I'm trying to get you to understand is that the Most High God has a certain standard for the way that he requires us to worship and serve him. And going to church on Sundays is not enough. Going to Bible study on Wednesday is not enough. God is not in covenant, but if you read the Bible and actually study the Bible for yourself, God was not in covenant with the Christians. God was not in covenant with the Seventh-day Adventists. God was not in covenant with the Jehovah's Witness. God was not in covenant with none of those denominations or no other people except for Israel. P. Diddy is an Israelite. He may be a wicked one, but he's still an Israelite. He's still a part of the bloodline. But what I was saying was, before I went off on a tangent, basically, if you watch the interview of Charlemagne the God and P. Diddy, what P. Diddy was saying is that he was trying to start a black political party and empower black people and hold us to some accountability for our votes and for coming together and to unify us as a whole. But what I'm trying to get you to see is that he cannot serve God in money. He cannot serve God in the devil. That's being double-minded. So you cannot, and I'm talking about Diddy, you cannot make a deal with the devil and enjoy the fruits of everything that Satan has blessed you and given you with and think that it's from God, because it's not. And think that you're gonna go against the grain and think that you're gonna start a political party for your people to empower us. Satan not having that. So no, everything that you've been doing in the dark, that it has now came to the light, you got to pay up. See, that's how the devil operates. That's how he get down. You got to keep your end of the bargain, Diddy. That's how Satan operates. Now it's time to pay up. It's time to collect. That's why R. Kelly and Bill Cosby still locked up. They won't let me out. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. But the problem with Israel, true Israel, the problem with black people is that we always want to put our trust in the government, in politics. We think that the government is our God. The government ain't our God. The government can't get us out of the condition that our people are in. The government can't save us. The government ain't your savior. I'm going to go to 1 Samuel chapter 8. Because Israel, and when I say Israel, I mean the real Israel, the real descendants of the Israelites, okay? The real children of Israel, who happen to be so-called black people. But you don't know your identity because your identity was stolen from you. Did you know? Did you know that we were not always slaves? Did you know that before, matter of fact, did you know that in the Bible, the entire central theme of the Bible is slavery? Because like I stated before, God is only in covenant with one people, and that's so-called black people who have lost their identity and don't know who they are. But now God is trying to wake up his people because we in the last days, and he trying to clean up the bride of Yahushua and get the bride ready. He only in covenant with one people. But you don't know who you are because you lost your identity. Do you not know that there's a curse of Deuteronomy chapter 28, that you wouldn't know who you are, that in the land of your captivity, that you would serve false gods, that you would have no remembrance of yourself, that you would not remember who your God is? All recollection of who your God is in no more of remembrance. You don't remember. That's a curse. That's why our people killing each other every which way you turn, because they don't know who they are. That's a generational curse. That's part of the curses of Deuteronomy chapter 28. If you go to 1 Samuel chapter 8, starting at verse 4. Israel wanted a king, and that's the problem with our people. We always want a king. We always want somebody to rule over us. That's the problem with the real Israel. Okay, I'm not talking about the created state of Israel. If you, when I say Israel, if you think that I'm talking about those imposters that have stolen our identity, who are a synagogue of Satan, then you are lost. When I say Israel or the children of Israel, I'm talking about black people, so-called black people. You are the chosen people. People who don't know who you are, black man and black woman. If you go to 1 Samuel chapter 8, starting at verse 4, and it says, all the elders of Israel gathered together, and they came to Samuel at Ramah. They said to him, you are old, and your sons do not walk in your ways. Now install for us a king to govern us like all the nations. You see, Israel, they always want to be like the other nations. They give us a king like the other nations. Then in verse 6 it says, but the thing was evil in the eyes of Samuel, because they said, give us a king to govern us. And Samuel prayed to the Lord. The Lord said to Samuel, obey the voice of the people in relation to all that they say to you, for it is not you they have rejected, but me they have rejected from reigning over them. Didn't I say Yahushua said, I came for my own, but my own received me not? Just as all the deeds which they have done to me, from the day I brought them up from Egypt, even to this day. The day that I brought them up from Egypt. See, you don't know your history, black man and black woman. Who are the people that Moses led out of Egypt? Which means house of bondage. Which Egypt happens to be in Africa. But they told us that Egypt is in the make-believe Middle East. You see how deceptive Satan is? Did I lose you? From the day I brought them up from Egypt, even to this day, in that they have forsaken me and have served other gods. Are we not over here in the land of our captivity still serving other gods? So they are doing also to you now. Now then obey their voice. Only you will testify against them and proclaim to them the judgment concerning the king who will reign over them. So Samuel said all the words of the Lord to the people who were asking from him a king. And he said, this will be the judgment concerning the king who will reign over you. Your sons he will take in order to place them for himself in his chariots and as his horsemen, and they will run before his chariot, and in order to assign for himself captains of thousands and captains of fifties, and to plow his ground and to gather in his harvest, and to make his weapons of war and the equipment of his chariots. And your daughters he will take for perfumers and cooks and bakers, and your choicest fields and vineyards and olive groves he will take and give them to his servants. And I'm going to go down to verse 19. So he said some more stuff, but going down to verse 19, he said, so even after Samuel told them all of this, that the king that they were requesting, okay, give us a Democrats, give us a Republican. No, our people, we don't want to come out of these political parties that are not for us and pray to our gods to save us and repent and turn back to him. No, we want a king. Give us Kamala Harris. Give us Donald J. Trump. We want a king. We want to be like the other nations. We don't want to be independent. We don't want to come out of these wicked political parties that is not for either of us. That's not for no black people. That's not going to do anything for us. No, we want to rely and depend on the government. That's what we want to do. We want a king. We want Kamala. You see, do you understand what I'm saying to you? Verse 19, but the people refused to obey the voice of Samuel, and they said, no, but surely a king will be over us. Yeah, you see, they wanted a Kamala. Somebody who at everything, think everything is funny. And they said, no, but surely a king will be over us. You see, they didn't want the Most High to rule over them where they would be blessed and have everything in abundance. No, they wanted a king. So that we will also be like all the nations. You see, that's our problem. We always want to be like all the other nations. We don't want to be called and chosen and set apart and be a royal priesthood that God had chosen, a special people, Israel, the apple of his eye. We didn't want that. We wanted to be like the other nations and still do. Are we the same stiff-necked, hard-headed, rebellious people that our ancestors are? Or were, I should say. So that we will also be like all the nations, and so that our king will govern us and will go out before us and will fight our battles. And after Samuel heard all the words of the people, he spoke them in the hearing of the Lord. And the Lord said to Samuel, obey their voice and make for them a king. So you see, a lot of times when you ask for what you ask for, the Lord will give you he will give you right what you ask for. He'll give it to you. If that's what you want, he'll give it to you. Because you see, he give us free will. But just like Diddy said that he was an advocate, Democratic supporter. A wicked party, by the way, that wants to unalive babies in the womb, even up until birth. You see, a wicked party who says that a man and a man can be a union, and a woman and a woman. A wicked party, by the way, who says it's okay for a boy to be a girl and for a girl to be a boy. It's okay for a man to use the women's restroom. That's okay. It's okay. It's okay. Just love everybody. It's okay. Rainbows and cotton candy everywhere. It's okay for the drag queens to go to our children's school and indoctrinate our children when the majority of our children, even the black children, cannot even read on grade level. But it's okay. Send them a drag queen into the classroom. It's okay to indoctrinate little Jimmy and let little Jimmy put on a princess pink dress and a tutu and a bow. That's okay. We're gonna support that. We still gonna vote for her anyway. You know why? Because she's the first alleged black woman president, and she not even black. She just said that she was black to get your vote, but she don't identify as black. And if you are voting for Kamala Harris, that's your choice. But to your own demise, to your own destruction. But no. That's what Israel said, right? And what was I in? I was in 1 Samuel chapter 8, verse 4 through 9. Give us a king. Give us a queen. Even in this case, give us Kamala. So the Most High said, okay, you don't want to come out of these wicked political parties. You don't want to come out. You don't want to come out. See, you don't have to be a Democrat. You don't have to be a Republican. You don't have to be either one. Because truth be told, neither party is for black people. If you didn't know, I'm not voting for either. There is no lesser evil of the two. They both are evil. But if you're gonna vote, if you call yourself a Christian, I certainly would not vote for the Democrats. Give us a king. Give us a king. But the Most High is saying, since you guys, you love a prophetic word, come out of these political parties. Come out of them. Come out. Matter of fact, the Bible said, I'm not even saying, he said, come out of her, my people, lest you partake in her sins, in her iniquities, lest you partake in her judgments. Come out of these Baal temple churches. Come out of these wicked political parties. Come out of her, my people. He said, my people perish for a lack of knowledge. Why the emphasis on my people? He's talking to a particular group of people, a specific people. He's not talking to everybody. He only in covenant with one people, and that's you. But you don't know that because these pastors, they are complicit. They are complicit with the silence, with keeping who you are a secret. Like I said when I first came on this video, and I'm about to get ready to go, Diddy, he's innocent until proven guilty. But like Kanye West said, we are the real children of Israel. And you'll be surprised to know Kodak Black, what's that comedian name, Tiffany Haddish. Did you know that Tiffany Haddish know that black people are the true Israelites? Did you know that? Did you know that Kodak Black knows that? Did you know that Kendrick Lamar knows that? Did you know that Kanye West knows that? Did you know that Common knows that? Did you know that KRS-One knows that? So if I tell you that a celebrity said it, or that a celebrity knows, then maybe that'll, I don't know, maybe it'll interest you to pick up the Bible. Because the Bible is black history, people. Why you think they didn't want you to read? The entire Bible is talking about black people. It's talking to black people. It's written by black people for black people. Not to say that the gospel is not for everybody, because yes, the gospel is for everybody who will receive it and who will receive the truth. But it was written to the Hebrews, who happen to be black melanated people. And some of you probably saying, well, why I ain't never heard that in church? Just like when I tried to tell my son's girlfriend the other night, I said, did you know you was a Hebrew? Did you know God has a name? His name is Yahuwah. God is not his name. No. She said, why I ain't never heard that in church before? Baby, you ain't gonna hear it in mainstream Christianity. These pastors ain't gonna tell you the truth. It's a few of them scattered here and there that may know, that may teach this, but they ain't finna tell you this. They can't. They can't, or they scared, or they won't, or however, whatever. But 1 Peter chapter 4 verse 17 says, judgment starts at the house of Yah. It actually says the house of the Lord, but I don't call him Lord, okay? Excuse me, but it says judgment starts at the house of Yahuwah. What does that mean? So that means that judgment starts with his people first. Who are his people? We are his people. So you see, even though people put these celebrities on a status, put these celebrities on a pedestal, they are no exception to repentance. We all have to repent. And the Bible says, unless a man be born again, he will not enter the kingdom of heaven. He will not. So your money, those things will not save you. You are no exception to repentance. Even P. Diddy. Y'all put these corrupt individuals on a platform and a pedestal and idolize these wicked celebrities. They ain't no exception. They just regular people, just like you and me. The only difference is they got money, but the Bible say, what shall it profit a man to gain the whole world and lose his soul? What did you do for them dollars? You see, I'd rather go to work and work my boring 9 to 5 and go home and stay out the way than to go out there and do something immoral and sell my soul. Or for what? It's because it's not worth it in the end. It's not worth it. It's not worth it. And all that money and all that power that Diddy got, guess what? He's still locked up. And he finna be in there. And he probably not gonna get out. Probably not. We'll see. We'll see. He probably not. But we gonna see. But P. Diddy is a Hebrew Israelite, okay? And Hebrews chapter 12 verse 6 says, Yahuwah chastises those he loves. So you see, your children, you rebuke them, you chastise them, you discipline them because you love them and you want them to do right. You want them to stay on the straight and narrow, on the right path. Like I was telling my son the other night, I said, I'm not fussing, but I'm telling you because I care. I want you to, I don't want you to, die prematurely. I don't want you to go to prison. Like, no, I want you to do well and to prosper. And I want to be able to say, my son did this. And you know what I'm saying? Like, so God chastens his people. He chastens those whom he loves. Everybody is not God's people. And let me tell you another thing. Everybody that say they is a child of God is not a child of God. Let me be clear about that. Because there's a lot of people who think or say that they're a child of God, but they're not. You cannot be a child of God and you out here serving Satan. You cannot be a child of God and you not doing what he say do. You're not even attempting or trying. And when I say you, I'm talking about people in general. Romans chapter 9 verse 13 says, as it is written. Romans chapter 9 verse 13. Do me a favor, if you join the broadcast late, you can go back to the beginning so that you can know what this broadcast was about. Okay. If you watched it from beginning to end, I thank you. But Romans chapter 9 verse 13 says, as it is written, for Jacob I have loved, but Esau I have hated. And you see that people know that Jacob, who is Jacob? Isaac and Rebekah had twins, Jacob and Esau. So-called black people, Negroes, African Americans, whatever you want to refer to yourself as, you descend from the line of Jacob. God said, Jacob I have loved, Esau I have hated. Well, who is Esau? Well, that's where your Gentiles descend from. Your Edomites, these colored people who bloodline got mixed with the fallen angels, whose bloodline is corrupted, okay, with the fallen angels. God said, Jacob I have loved, Esau I have hated. Now, I didn't say that, but the Bible said that, okay? Now, yes, Gentiles, they can be grafted in. Now, you see the Christian church, they perpetuate that black people are Gentiles. We are not Gentiles. We are Israelites, okay? And the entire Bible is about black people. It is about Israelites. The Messiah was black. Moses was black. Abraham, Isaac, Jacob, and Rebekah, the 12 tribes of Israel, they were all black people. It's historical. It's factual. What I'm saying to you is not about pride, but you need to know who you are, because you need to know that God have a standard of how he require his people to live and to serve him. You need to come out of falsehood and come out of these pagan traditions and traditions of men. God is only in covenant with one group of people. And he requires us to serve him the way that he requires us to serve him, which is holiness and righteousness. We can't serve him how we want to serve him. How can you serve God but you in falsehood? I mean, you can, but the Bible says my people perish for a lack of knowledge. So if you have to come out of Christianity, come out of religion, because you're not going to hear this in mainstream Christianity. They're not going to tell you the truth. That's why you got to get in the Bible for yourself. But Romans chapter 9 and verse 13 says, as it is written, for Jacob I have loved, but Esau I have hated. And what was Satan's goal? His goal was to corrupt God's bloodline, which he did, because Esau is actually an Israelite too, but his seed was corrupted. That was Satan's plan. That was not the Most High plan. If you go to Zechariah chapter 2 verse 8, it says Israel is the apple of his eye. You don't know, black man and black woman, that you are the apple of God's eye. Not the Christian, not the Baptist, not the Methodist. You are, black man, black woman, Israel, the true Israelites. If you don't know what I'm talking about, go back to the beginning of this broadcast. I'm trying to do my due diligence to wake up a sleep and a lost people who continue to kill each other because they have no identity and they don't know who they are. They don't know who their God is. I know I said I'm about to get ready to go about 3 times, but I wanna shed some light on this before I get ready to go. Like P. Diddy said, neither he said he put money behind the Democrats, and when they got in office, they have never done anything for us, and they never will. Neither party is for us, okay? But what I want to say is that, and you have to go back to the beginning of the broadcast to know what I'm talking about. But what I want to say is that both of these parties, the Democrats and the Republicans, okay, if you notice, neither one of these parties have mentioned Sonia Massey, okay? Neither one of these parties have mentioned Javion McGee or Marcellus Williams. I want to shed some light on these 3 things before I get ready to get off this broadcast. I just want to briefly talk about it. You need to understand What I want you, and you have to have an open mind. You have to have an ear to hear what the Spirit of the Lord is saying. It's a lot of false prophets out here, so you need to test the Spirit, and you need to get in the Word for yourself to understand what I'm saying. You need to go back to the beginning of the broadcast to understand what I'm saying for things to make sense. You need to come out of falsehood, come out of these religions, and really have an ear to understand what I'm saying to you. You need to understand God is in covenant with one people, and that's Israel, the true Israelites. Black people, so-called black people. We are still up under that covenant. That we still up under that Abrahamic covenant that Abraham made with his descendants. Our ancestors, that covenant that they made when Moses brought them out of Egypt, and he gave them the 10 Commandments, when Moses went to the mountaintop. And when after Moses led them out of the wilderness, and they said, yes, we will obey, because you see, when Moses led them out of Egypt, out of the house of bondage, God said that he would make Israel his people. Israel will be the apple of his eye. But he had specific laws and statutes and commandments that we had to follow and uphold our part of the bargain. But we didn't. No sooner than Moses led them out of the house of bondage did they go in the wilderness and make a golden calf. As if they had just forgot that the Most High had just got them out of bondage. You see, that's idolatry. You want to be like the other nations. We the same stiff-necked, hard-headed, rebellious people that we always have been. That's why the Most High said, my people is a stiff-necked people, a rebellious house. You don't obey, you don't listen. He trying to wake up his people. Why do you think these people on TikTok and on YouTube starting to say we the true people, and because it's true, he trying to wake up his people. He wants you to come out of the sin, of course, come out of falsehood, come out of these political parties that don't got nothing to do with us. But while I'm off on a tangent, what I wanted to say is that if you notice, if the Democrats really were for black people, if the Republicans were really for black people, and yes, I do go hard in the paint when I be talking about Democrats, because neither party is good. But the Democrats, the things that they promote and they push are very wicked, very demonic, very satanic, okay? And I'm just not with that. I cannot get with that. And if you call yourself a Christian or a child of God, you should not get with that either. But if you notice, neither party ever mentions black people when our people are murdered. Sonya Massey. You're not going to hear Kamala Harris or Donald Trump talk about Sonya Massey. You're not going to hear Kamala Harris or Donald Trump talk about Javion McGee. You're not going to hear Kamala Harris or Donald Trump talk about Marcellus Williams. So as P. Diddy stated in an interview with Charlamagne the God, he said that the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over and respecting different results. But no, Israel say, give us a king. You want somebody to rule over you. We got to have somebody to rule over us and tell us what to do, as if we not adults, and as if we cannot think for ourselves and do for ourselves. We want to be so dependent on the government. Come out of these political parties. They don't mean you no good. Do you not know Sonya Massey was a black woman who was just murdered in her home by a racist cop? This woman said, I rebuke you in the name of Jesus. And this cop said, you better fucking not, or I will shoot you in the face. That's wickedness. Who are you, black woman, to rebuke me in the name of Jesus? Who are you to rebuke me? Stay in your place. You don't understand? These parties, these police officers, they not for us. They don't care about us. He shot her because she rebuked him in the name of Jesus. 3 shots to the face. So why do you still serve and call Jesus? That's not his name. His name is Yahushua. Yahushua said, I came to my own, receive me not. He said, if another come he said, you will not, he said, I come in my Father's name, which is Yahuwah, but you will not receive me. But if another comes in his own name, Jesus Christ, you will receive him. God was in covenant with one specific group of people, the Hebrews, and still is in covenant with not the Christians, not the Methodists, not the Baptists, the Israelites. He's our God. And he has specific statutes and laws and commandments, rules that we must obey. And because we still not doing what he told us to do, because we not coming out of these strip clubs, we not coming out of these political parties that's evil and wicked, we not coming out of these Bell Temple churches that exploit the people for money and not doing nothing but profit line, come out of that stuff. He said, come out of her, my people, lest you partake of her sins. But you're not going to hear Donald Trump. You're not going to hear these candidates talk about Sonia Massey, how she was murdered in her home. It's 2024. You're not going to hear Kamala Harris. But for all you people who support her because she's going to be the first so-called black female president, that's ignorant. They got us with the okie doke when we fell for the trap in 2000. What was that? In 2008, when we fell for Barack Obama, but he didn't do anything for black people. But what did he do when he got in office, the second term? He pushed the rainbow agenda and community. That's what he did. But for him to be a so-called black president, he didn't do nothing for black people. Y'all ain't woke up yet. We still ain't get no reparations. We didn't get nothing. We got Obamacare. That's what we got. Y'all ain't woke up yet. Y'all still voting for these people. Stop voting for these people. They only pander to you during election time and they don't do anything for you. Come out of these political parties. They're not for us anyway. You don't have to vote. You could be independent. You don't have to vote for either of these parties. And if you're gonna vote, by all means, please do not vote for these wicked Democrats. But you're not gonna. Why do you serve a Messiah? You call him Jesus when Jesus is a Greek name. They say it's a transliteration, but it's not. They purposely mistranslated Yahushua into Jesus so that you would not remember your God name. They purposely removed their names from the Bible so that you would not know their true names. That is deception. The Bible said that they withhold the truth in unrighteousness. Come, let us cut Israel off from being a nation so that they shall be no more in remembrance. That's the generational curse. That's part of the curses of Deuteronomy chapter 28. But you're not going to hear Kamala or Donald Trump talk about Sonia Massey, Javion McGee, or Marcellus Williams. Period. They gonna lie to you to get your vote, and then when they get in office, like P. Diddy said, they still not gonna do nothing for you. This man had not only did P. Diddy have the money and the power to start a political black party to try to empower black people, but what did that get him? Because he's still locked up. And he probably not finna get out. Now, like I said when I first got on, I don't condone any other stuff that he has been allegedly accused of. That I do not support, because if he committed the crimes that they said that he did, then okay, then he need to serve the time. But at the same time, I'm just saying, he had some points in the interview. That's all I'm saying that I happen to agree with, but I don't agree with what he's being accused of. Let me make that clear. But you're not gonna hear them talk about Sonia Massey. If you don't know who Sonia Massey was, she was the black woman who got killed in her home in Springfield, Illinois, for rebuking a white officer in the name of Jesus, and he shot her 3 times in the face. Yeah. If you don't know who Javion McGee is the 21-year-old who was found in North Carolina with a rope around his neck. He was from Chicago. He was a truck driver. He had just gotten his CDL license. And he was found with a rope around his neck. Now, the sheriff who discovered his body, he went out on a limb and said that it was not a murder. But what 21-year-old do you know would be at work, because he was driving a truck? He was from Chicago, but he was in North Carolina working. He was driving a truck. Who goes to work to commit suicide? Who does that? If that was the case, he just would have bought a gun. If he wanted to take his own life, it would have been quick, or maybe he would have tried to OD on some pills. Who hang themselves? He wasn't in prison. He was in the free world, walking around. So why would he put a rope around his neck and unalive himself at work? I mean, it makes no sense. It makes no sense. But that's who Javion McGee is. If you don't know about that, look that story up. Also, Marcellus Williams. If you don't know who Marcellus Williams is, that's the man who just was executed and is no longer with us because they took his life for a crime that he said that he did not commit. Marcellus Williams. In 2001, Williams was convicted for the murder of Felicia Gale, a former newspaper reporter and a social worker who was found stabbed to death in her home in 1998. Well, Williams always maintained his innocence. Now check this out. Despite not only despite that he declared that he was innocent all these years, but check this out. They still charged him with the murder of this woman, even though they had no proof, no connection of this man to this woman who was found dead in her home. But they put it on him, allegedly, okay? And they executed him on September 24th for a crime that he said that he did not commit. And from my understanding, they had no proof that he committed this crime. I thought Black Lives Matter. Well, obviously they don't. But check this out. Despite a prosecutor in the case, and check this out, and the family of the victim, this white woman's family, who he was charged with her murder, okay, this white woman family and a prosecutor in the case said that his life should be spared. That speaks volumes, because if her family, we talking about a white woman family now, if her family believed that this black man had stabbed her to death, you better believe, you bet your bottom dollar, they would not have said spare his life if they thought that he was guilty. So in my opinion, if it means anything, that speaks volumes, because this white woman's family said spare his life. So they had to believe that he was innocent for them to say that. But he was executed. They took Marcellus Williams' life September 24th. This was just a few days ago. He was executed for a crime that he said that he did not commit. I'm pretty much done with this message. Bevelyn Beatty Williams. Bevelyn Beatty Williams. If you don't know who she is a black woman who, up under the Biden administration, was indicted for praying outside of an abortion clinic. Indicted. Federal charges for praying outside of an abortion clinic. Up under the Biden administration. You see, people, neither one of these parties are for us. And like I stated in the first part of the video, if P. Diddy is guilty of the crimes as charged, if they can prove without a shadow of a doubt that he committed these crimes that they say he committed, then yeah, he should go to prison. But I do believe that if he is guilty of the charges that they say for sex trafficking, racketeering, whatever other charges that they say, if he did it, he should be held accountable. These celebrities get too much credit, and people idolize these celebrities. But if he did these things that they say he did, then he needs to be held accountable. But not only do he need to be held accountable, if he was sex trafficking, guess what? He wasn't doing it by himself. I don't care how much money, how much power you got. He wasn't doing it by himself. So whoever was helping him, allegedly, or whoever was involved, then everybody need to go down. And as I stated in this video when I first got on this broadcast, I am glad if the Most High God is about to allow Hollywood to come crashing down, I'm all for it. I am all for it. I'm not mad. I wouldn't be glad. I mean, I wouldn't be mad. I wouldn't lose no sleep, because Hollywood is very wicked. These entertainers are very wicked. They do any and everything to get the fame, the fortune, and the money, and everything that come with it. They will sell out their soul. They sacrifice their babies. They do it all. It's nothing that they won't do. And if he is allowing Hollywood to be exposed, and I'm here for it. It should be. I do not support it. You know, I just don't. I think that Christians are some of the most hypocritical people that they are. But y'all need to do your research on these candidates. Y'all need to check out their Candace Owens, that video that she did on YouTube about researching Kamala's so-called black grandmother. You know, check that out on the Candace Owens channel on YouTube. Because word on the street is Kamala's ancestors actually owned slaves. And I wouldn't be surprised if they did. So, I'm about to get off of here. I hope that you got something out of this broadcast. I hope that you will go back and watch it from the beginning if you came in late. Also, I have a channel on YouTube. It's called House of Prayer. So this video, if you missed it, it will be on YouTube. It's called House of Prayer with Sasha Monet. All right, y'all be blessed. Till next time. Have a good night.